Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. I can't believe I'm saying this, I can't believe I'm making one of these videos again. And it's not even like I'm trying to milk this Kasparian thing because of the views that it's getting, it's just Kasparian keeps saying based things. It seems like she's really going through this political epiphany, changing her perspective moment, and it's driving the radical left that has supported the TYT absolutely crazy. You know, it's kind of funny because the TYT has gone after Dave Rubin so viciously for so many years, and now it seems almost as if Kasparian is going through the Dave Rubin arc. Of course, not really a fair comparison. I wouldn't argue that Kasparian is anywhere near the point that Dave Rubin got to after all of those years. I don't see her identifying as right-wing anytime soon, but it's still reminiscent, it's kinda close, and if you see the meme that's on the screen, the meme for this video, well, it's the typical phenomenon of those radical leftists forcing her, pushing her towards the right because she's had a couple common sense revelations as of yet. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. The leftoids are losing their minds. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so Kasparian recently showed up on the Stitch and Adam podcast. I'm not sure who they are, I've done a little bit of research into their views just for the purpose of this video. It's a relatively small YouTube channel with 45,000 subscribers, but it seems like they do a pretty good job. It seems like they're right down the middle and they tackle issues quite honestly. I get kind of a Tim Pool vibe in terms of where they land on the political spectrum. Well, Kasparian showed up on the show, and there's two moments that are causing leftoid brains to implode. This is the first one.
He just disagrees about it being self-defense. He thinks like he didn't need to like shoot the gun, he didn't need to kill people. I hear you. I wish it didn't end that way. But if I were in his shoes, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah. I probably would have prayed and sprayed. So, I mean, Rittenhouse did the right thing. Like, it's a good thing he was in control of the weapon instead of me. So,
yeah.
It's funny that, like, this gets thrown around a lot. Like, people accuse you of grifting or other people of grifting when they start changing their beliefs, even though it's like you're changing your beliefs in a way that would, like, be more likely to hurt your career as opposed to help it.
Kasparian essentially saying that if she was in Kyle Rittenhouse's shoes, that she'd have most likely done the same thing. Now, I only have one response, and it's a 5-letter word, based. And how do you think that that comment from a former far-left hero, Kasparian, is playing out in left-wing circles on Twitch and other streaming platforms? Well, pretty much as bad as you might expect. The Emo Dragon writes, "You guys, this is so much worse than I thought. Anna says that if she was in Kyle Rittenhouse's shoes, that she'd have done the same thing."
But look, Jenk just has a different perspective. It is what it is. Like, I'm not here to talk about Jenk. You know, like we and again, I want to give him credit because we can have the conversation on air, this exact conversation, and he's gonna say the exact same thing. I'm gonna say.
I just can't let them get away with saying that Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense. This man showed up with a gun with an intent to use it. Okay, and then when people tried to stop it, remember, people always say, "Why did nobody stop that man? He was ready to be an active shooter." They'll be like, "Oh, it's not a crime to walk around and point your fucking gun at people in the age of mass shooting." You guys are crazy. You guys are talking out of both sides of your mouth. One time you want us to shoot fucking mass shooter and be vigilantes. Somebody is a vigilante. Look, that man had every right to be using it as a gun. Like, I don't understand. This argument makes me lose my mind. And I don't understand why people are like, "Oh yeah, this was a bang up job. Our very righteous, justice system found this white boy innocent, for murder." Fun fact. That's not unusual. And I don't care that the guy that he killed wasn't black. It's still part of a racist institution. And the fact that they liked that Kyle Rittenhouse had gone there, to uphold the police and, stand with the police in the face of those protests. So anyway, I have to get that in every time.
These socialist leftoid revolutionary types are still so funny to me. After all the information, all the video evidence, after everything that has come out, they still believe that Kyle Rittenhouse is a mass shooter, that he just went there and was pointing his gun at people. I mean, I don't even want to tackle these talking points or get into the weeds on that issue. We've already gone into it a million different times. You guys know the deal. What a ridiculous clip. What I do want to focus on, however, is the fact that Kasparian is kind of coming over to our side on many of these issues. Let's do a little bit of a flashback. Here's what Kasparian was saying a year ago.
Now, again, he drove from Illinois to Wisconsin So he put himself in what he considers a dangerous situation. He was in possession of an illegal weapon. He was the one who opened fire first. But I do think it's important for these media outlets to be incredibly clear about what he did wrong. It's not like he was in his front yard and he was approached by a group of individuals who posed an imminent threat to his life. He drove across state lines with his family, intending to go to this protest armed with a gun that he did not have, was not legally in possession of. He opened fire, and as protesters were chasing him to get a hold of his gun so he didn't hurt anyone else, he opened fire again, injuring one more person and killing another person. So that's what we're dealing with here with Kyle Rittenhouse. But my fear is that if justice is not served, it will continue to embolden what the FBI has referred to as the greatest domestic threat that we're facing right now, and that's right-wing extremists. The FBI has said that in multiple reports. And that's what Kyle Rittenhouse and all of his enablers are.
So it's fair to say that her perspective has changed quite dramatically from basically promoting fake news that Kyle Rittenhouse, quote, shot first and was in the wrong on so many of these points, to if I was in his position, I would have done the same thing. The left is losing their mind because Anna Kasparian is realizing that for the most part, these far leftoids who occupy these weird internet spaces, well, they're delusional cult members who live in alternate realities. You know, people who still think that Kyle Rittenhouse was just indiscriminately pointing his gun at people and was just a mass shooter on the day. What's it been, like 3 years since the event and they still believe this stuff? Anna Kasparian is coming to certain realizations about the leftist mafia. Here's another clip that has leftoid brains imploding.
I happened to come across a video you guys did about me. It was the stream on, I hate to name names, but you guys were covering the leftist mafia and their insane gaslighting video about me. And you guys were the only ones, as far as I could see, that actually did a good job in highlighting how badly they were gaslighting me. Right. And so I thank you for doing that because, you know, when everyone around you, everyone who alleges to be your friends, tells you something you know isn't true, but they keep repeating it to you over and over again, you start asking yourself, like, am I the crazy one? You know? So that, I really appreciated that. But, you know, you guys have put out a ton of videos about me that have not been friendly or nice, and it's okay. I mean, I can be a good sport about it, and I do think that you guys raised a few valid points, and I just need to be willing to accept where I was wrong and where people are critiquing from good faith. Like, you guys have a little bit of an edgy style.
The typical response from your average woke leftist revolutionary, so stupid F-head Anna Kasparian is going on right-wing shithole shows and trying to call out the leftist mafia over their support for trans rights? Who the F does this uppity, stupid B think that she is? Well, that's literally not an argument, just a bunch of ad hominem attacks, a complete meltdown at the idea that another person has a certain opinion about the leftist mafia and their cringe tactics. You know, tactics like what you're doing right now. Let's draw back to the meme from the meme of the day in this video. Now, do you notice something? Here you have Anna Kasparian, a left-wing show host, on a podcast with centrist, maybe center-right, center-left individuals running a Tim Pool-style discussion, and from the perspective of this left-wing revolutionary Twitter user, this is stupid F-head Anna Kasparian going on a right-wing show. Then you have this response to that tweet, the irony of her saying that she needs to accept where she is wrong, while she ignores every trans person in scientific studies. TYT is a right-wing pipeline at this point. John Iadarola needs to get out before they drag him down. Yep, so apparently not only is the Stitch and Adam comedy show podcast a right-wing S-hole show, but apparently the TYT, the Young Turks, is a right-wing pipeline. Holy freaking moly, can you say leftist mafia? The TYT is a right-wing pipeline. You know, in a certain way, it's it's kind of true, but not in the way that this person is implying. He's making the implication that the TYT is basically a right-wing network at this point. They're pushing ideas that are turning people into extreme Republicans, those ultra MAGA chuds. Not true, although maybe you could argue that some of the idiotic takes and segments and viral clips that we've seen from the TYT do create a little bit of a right-wing pipeline effect, some of them being so completely crazy, so totally incompetent, that people immediately think to themselves, well, I certainly don't want to be on this side of the political spectrum. Not only are leftoid brains imploding as their thought leader heroes continue to turn on them, but this whole left-wing grift in general is imploding from just the sheer insanity that's leading to all this infighting. The absolute sheer insanity, the craziness of the left is simply unsustainable. More and more as time goes on, people realize they simply don't want to associate themselves with these leftist mafia ideologues. And Anna Kasparian seems to be the latest leftist thought leader waking up. Maybe less of a Dave Rubin arc and more of a Bill Maher arc. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. You know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.